Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of the DAN Show, and welcome to my latest 2021 NFL mock draft video. In today's video, I'm going to break down the New York Giants and what they're going to do with the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. If you're new here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you're notified of all my latest videos. Currently, I release a new draft video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Plus, every Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I go live here on YouTube where anything goes. All questions are answered. It's just a great community of a bunch of people that we just basically talk football. So I encourage you to go ahead and join the show. Now, let's break down the Giants. When I break down the Giants, I see three things that need to be addressed either through the draft or free agency. And that is wide receiver, offensive line, and edge rush. Now, I'm going to start with wide receiver, and this is very obvious here, all right? The Giants don't have a number one wide receiver. They have two excellent complementary pieces in Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, but neither one of these guys are really a true number one. They do have a Pro Bowl tight end, and when Saquon Barkley comes back, he's going to catch a ton of passes. It would not surprise me if Saquon Barkley ends up leading the team in receptions, but this is a team that really needs to upgrade the wide receiver position. In this mock draft, both Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith make a ton of sense here. In most mock drafts, one or both of these guys are already off the board. So in this mock draft, where both these guys have fallen out of the top 10, grabbing either one of these guys makes a ton of sense here. However, now this video is made right before the start of free agency. It's my opinion that the Giants are going to address the wide receiver position via free agency. But even if they don't, I still think the Giants are going to pass on either one of these Bama wide receivers, which if they decide to take either one of these guys, it's a smart move. They will immediately improve the offense, but I'm going in another direction. Now, let's talk about the offensive line situation. During the weekend, it was announced that Nate Solder, who was the starting left tackle in 2019, is coming back to the Giants on a reworked contract. Now, this is a big deal because he signed a massive free agent contract, and he hasn't really lived up to billing, but he was supposed to be a starting left tackle in 2020. Instead, the fourth pick overall, Andrew Thomas, who the Giants wanted to be the right tackle, had to move her to the left side, and he did struggle. Now, towards the end of the season, he actually played pretty well, but the perfect situation for the Giants is to have Solder play on a reworked contract on the left side and Andrew Thomas play on the right side, and that's exactly what is going to happen with the Giants this year, so that's a huge win for the Giants. If you've been watching my show or watching any one of my videos, you know how important I think the left tackle is. So going ahead and getting Solder back as the starting left tackle is a big win for the Giants. Now, earlier in the week, they released their best offensive lineman from last year, and that was Kevin Seitler, and this was a cap casualty type of move. So when I look at the NFL draft, in this mock draft, Rashawn Slater is available. Now, Rashawn Slater is widely considered either the best or the second best tackle in the draft, but he is 6'3", and I look at this guy as somebody who could be a guard, a Pro Bowl caliber guard on the next level. Now, I can't speak for Rashawn Slater. Maybe he's announced or told NFL teams, hey, I only want to play tackle. I don't want to play guard. I don't know if he's done that, but when I look at Slater, I see a guy who could be a plug-and-play guy for the Giants, a guy who could potentially be a Pro Bowl caliber guard. And there are a lot of mock drafts where he's gone before the Giants pick at 11. So him being available, I think would be a great move for the Giants. Besides Slater, if you are going to go ahead and go with the guard position, most people consider Elijah Vera Tucker the top prospect for the interior line. I did play left tackle last year for USC, but the majority of time in his at Southern Cal, he was an inside player. So he's going to play guard or possibly even center in the NFL. And this is another guy who could be a plug-and-play guy if you go ahead and draft. Now, I think either one of these guys could be Pro Bowl caliber players, but I want to emphasize that it's a pretty large request to ask a rookie to take over for your best offensive lineman and to live up to those standards. However, if the Giants are convinced that either Slater or Vera Tucker has Pro Bowl potential, then that's going to be the pick here at 11. But as a general rule of thumb, drafting a guard at 11 is a little high. And the Giants only have 6 draft picks total. So if they are going to draft a guard, I really think that you're going to do it in round 2. Now, you're not going to get the same caliber player as Slater or Vera Tucker, but you can get a guy who can come in and be a day one starter and a pretty damn good football player. So in my opinion, I think the position the Giants are going to address in this draft is going to be an edge rusher. I can hear the questions now. Why dress the defense when the offense is the biggest problem? I mean, the Giants were 31st in scoring offense, 31st in yards, while the defense was top 10 in points. Well, first off, Saquon Barkley comes back. He's the Giants' best player. He was injured early in the season. He's going to come back. He should be 100% by the time the season opens. Earlier in the video, I talked about the offensive line situation. You have Andrew Thomas, who was on the left side. The Giants drafted him to be the day one starter on the right side. You get Seitler returning on the left side. That with Barkley coming back is major upgrades to this offense. And the biggest reason, though, that I really like a pass rusher here is because this defense was really good, but the one thing they lacked was a pass rush. Now, they did have 40 sacks last year, and 40 is respectable. It's not a terrible number, but 11 and a half came from Leonard Williams. Dexter Lawrence and Kyler Fackrell, they were tied for second on the team with 4 sacks, and then Tomlinson was third with 3.5. Your starting defensive line contributed to 19, roughly half of your sacks. And the really good thing is that all 3 of these guys are young, talented players. All 3 of these guys are just going to get better and better and better. So, Dan, why am I addressing the defense when I have all of this? Well, instead of having a top 10 defense with an edge rusher, this could be the best defense in football. With the offensive upgrades with Seitler and Saquon Barkley coming back, just the improvement on offense alone could make the Giants a top 5 defense as is. However, if you add a pass rusher on this team, this could be the best defense in the National Football League. So before I reveal my selection, I just want to point out, if the Giants use this pick and draft either Rashawn Slater, Devontae Smith, or Jalen Waddle, all 3 of these guys would be excellent selections here. All 3 of these players would be day one starters, and all 3 of these players would instantly improve this team. However, I'm going to go with a curveball here. With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select linebacker Aziz Ogilari out of Georgia. Now, I know I haven't even mentioned this player before in any one of my other draft videos, so why do I have him going this early? Well, here's the deal. This kid has massive, massive upside. This is only a redshirt sophomore out of Georgia, and he looked like a man among boys in the SEC. In my opinion, this is a perfect example of a 3-4 outside linebacker. I mean, this is a guy who's strong against the run. He's strong against the pass. He has the ability to cover backs, tight ends. And watch the last game of his career. Watch the Peach Bowl against Cincinnati. 3 sacks plus he was the person who scored the safety at the end of the game. I mean, granted, with 1 second left, were they going to go 95 yards or not? It was a great game if you didn't watch it, but this was the guy who ended the game and sealed the victory for Georgia. One big characteristic that most draft fans are going to completely overlook, but it's very important, is that this is the very first freshman that Kirby Smart has made a team captain. Now, Kirby Smart was the former defensive coordinator at Alabama before he became head coach here at Georgia. This is a widely respected coach among NFL executives. This isn't like a coach from, let's just say, Hawaii who goes ahead and makes a freshman a team captain. This is a guy who worked with Nick Saban, and while at Alabama, and now as head coach of Georgia, he's only elected one player as a team captain as a freshman, and it's this kid. And I think that's a lot more valuable to NFL executives than the casual fan thinks. So a lot of people are going to look at that and kind of push it off to the side and don't think that's important. Believe me, NFL executives will really value and really take that into consideration when drafting. I know the Giants pay a lot more attention to that than most NFL teams, so that's kind of factors into my decision. Now, Georgia's pro day is Wednesday the 17th. If he has I think he's going to put on a show, but if he has a bad showing at the pro day, I may go ahead and change this pick, but I think he's going to have a good pro day. I think he's going to be very impressive. Now, this is my opinion, but I want to hear from you. What did you think? Did you like the pick? Did you boo me? Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think the Giants will do in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Now, Wednesday, I'm going to break down the San Francisco 49ers and what they're going to do with the 12th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. So, hey, I will see you Wednesday.